I drink and I don't know things. That's a shirt someone needs to make. All right, I kicked off the stream. Hey everyone, thanks for joining. I'm here with the wonderful Mike and Jesse, and we're going to try to play a GPT-based RPG. This is house rules, non-traditional. We'll try to roll 6 and whatever when we can, but sometimes, like when you tell GPT that you want to roll like 1d20, it's like not really rolling a die because it's a large language model and it like gets confused sometimes. Anyway, we'll see what we can do. I might hop over to like an actual die roller. But the cool thing here is that we're going to use the DALL-E model, so we should get some images that I'm hoping really spice up the RPG. That's the intent here.
Ooh, have you done this before? I know I have not.
I haven't run this before, like with players and stuff. I did mess around by myself, and let's see if I can find. I would have to. I don't want to necessarily lose the Discord situation. Discord is set up good right now. But on the Latterly Gaming channel Discord, there is a picture that I made with this where, oh no, I don't want to go into it. I don't want to go into it because it might be ruining the plot for today. So I'd rather it be surprises.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna jump over there and look at it.
What did you say, Mike?
I said I'm not gonna jump over there and try and find it then.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I was trying to get it look like a red-eyes black dragon thing for half a second.
Yes, it's like a kind of like a cool looking dragon, and I think that doesn't ruin the plot at all because I barely gave you any context, but it made a cool looking dragon. So there you go.
All right, let's learn.
This plot is inspired by Sword Art Online, The Matrix, and Dot Sign, if you're familiar with those. And there's going to be a little bit of like metaverse thrown in there, a little bit of Neuralink, and so that if you're familiar with those concepts, you get the idea. It's kind of like a sci-fi kind of vibe where the players. I'll just kick off the intro. The players are stuck inside the game. So let me grab the initial prompt here, and it's fine for y'all to know this because this is like basically the initial prompt. So you're like a MMORPG player. And one day you realize you can't log out. Basically, that's the start. So I'm grabbing some text to get the language model primed. Okay. Let's make a game with themes inspired by ... And then I'm going to get rid of this. So I'm telling the LLM, you and I will be co-narrators and game masters. So if it's cool with y'all too, y'all will be players, and then I can run GM. Does that sound fine?
Yeah, it seems like a fun way to kind of make up a campaign and see how to get it going.
All right, cool. So whenever we roll die, are y'all able to like actually roll a die? Oh, we should have a Discord die roller plugin is what I should have done. I'm going to just go over here to Google and roll that way.
Oh, that's smart. Because then I can't log.
I guess y'all don't have access to any of my D&D Discord, so I can't just say, hey, we can use the dice roller bot.
Can you can you bring that into the group chat or no? That would actually be best if you can do it that way, because I feel like it's better if y'all can actually roll. You see what I mean?
We did that once when we used to be from across states. In our group chat,
that answer is going to be no. I don't know how they added that to the server.
Okay. Well, note for future selves, we should get that added to probably the... Oh, you know what? Let's see if I can do it right now. Die roller... Discord bot. I'm just going to click the first one that I saw, and this could totally get me hacked. So this is like not smart, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Why are you doing that?
Because it's more fun if y'all are able to actually roll.
There's a strong chance. He just means randomly clicking links on the internet's a bad idea.
Living on the edge, my dude.
It said proceeding, but it's super slow. How about this one?
Not a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
All right, cool.
There we go.
Let's add to server. We're going to add it to the Latterly server. Continue. Let's go. Am I a human? Probably. Let's go over there. Roll. I don't know. Can I just do this?
Latterly, gaming. Where did my gaming tab?
Dope. Okay. All right. So can y'all do your first roll? And this is a memory check, but you don't know your stats, and that's on purpose.
Do I do it like just like this?
Yep. If you can go to the Latterly game.
Just doing a d6.
1d6. Yep.
Cool.
Wait. What? Don't I just do /roll?
Yeah.
Is mine showing up somewhere that I'm not seeing?
You have to go to the Latterly channel, not our little group chat that we're going with right now.
I'm in hashtag gaming. I see yours and I see his, and then I put. I think I'm a boomer, dude. Help me out real quick. So it says
/ not /, right?
It says I need to specify a value.
Yeah, so that would be 1d6. That's gonna be your value.
Well, where do I? Okay, let's try it right here after the colon. Yo!
Oh, you got the same number. Dope. Okay. All right. So y'all spawn in the same region. Dope. I fucking love D&D for shit like this. I actually didn't expect that to happen. Okay. And let's give me one more roll, please. This will be a D20. 1d20.
Damn.
Yo, 15, solid. All right, I'll take that.
Well done. Just one for him, right?
No, can you do one more, Jess? One for you. 1d20. Yeah, he had a...
So let me just get this formatting down. So, like, when I do flat roll, what do I put after that?
1d20, which means that you're going to roll one die.
/ roll, you will do the number of the dice, and then D, and the number of sides the dice has. So he tells you roll 1d20 / roll 1d20 with a space there. Or he might ask you to roll 2 6-sided dice, in which case it'd be / roll 2d6.
Flat roll 2d6.
No.
Look at how dumb I look right now on our group chat. You see this?
No, you're good, dude. If you want me to roll for you, let me know. But, yeah.
No, I just want to know how to do it, dude. So
it should be simple saying / roll space, and then it'll tell you, then it asks what to put in there.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a 1d20, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, we might come back to that later. Thanks for your patience.
Okay, so you're under 2. Interesting. Okay. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to click this.
Hey, it's my lucky number.
Is that your lucky number, really? That's cool.
Yes.
Dude, let me get this.
Wait, did you roll again?
No.
Oh, we had the audience roll in the chat. That was dope. Hey, pull up to the Discord.
Die roller and was like, hey, people are rolling dice. Let's jump in there.
So we got environment player. Awesome. I mean, that could be a whole fun thing. So yeah, it's an MMORPG. There's thousands of people. And apparently this guy knows what's going on better than either of y'all do. So y'all spawn in the same region. You realize that you can't log out. Mike, you have some memory of logging in from the real world. And Jess, you all of a sudden realize that you can't even remember ever logging in. So that's the difference between y'all two, based on that roll. So let's do this prompt. This will be a D&D or tabletop narrative game. You and I will be co-narrators, authors, and game masters. Chat. Oh, Poppy Sensei in the house. Awesome. So yeah, chat. Y'all can drive a player too. So there are 3 players that spawn in the same region. One is a human. Mike, can you do a 1d6 to figure out your gender? It's going to be randomly assigned. It's not selected. So Over 3, you're a dude. Under like 1, 2, 3, you're a chick. We got a 4. So Mike, you're a dude. Congratulations.
That's not proper for 2023.
1 is a human male who logged in.
You'll roll that die, Jesse.
And Jess.
4.
Okay, all right. The other is an in-game male character with no recollection of ever logging in.
He did a 1.
The third is a female character who remembers having logged in. So if you remembered logging in, then that means that you could remember generating your character. So Mike, what is basically your character build? So whenever you logged in, you started your game, you kind of remember this, and you don't remember necessarily all the details, but you definitely at least remember your like race and your sort of build, like warrior or whatever. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I was jumping and getting this right away. I wasn't trying to do anything complicated. I just knew I was going to play a tank, and I didn't want to look through all the different options. I just went human tank.
Okay, he created a human tank character. The other is an in-game male with no recollection of ever logging in. The third is a female character. Chat, feel free to let me know if you have a race or whatever. Otherwise, we'll let GPT pick. For the character that can't remember.
That's me?
Yep.
This is like real life.
For the character that can't remember anything, what is their race and skill set in this MMORPG? Right. Also, describe the region they spawn in. Is it an urban setting, a plains town, an oceanic town, or a citadel in the mountains? Bam! The character, let's call him Eidolon, is an elven rogue. Fuck!
That's mine?
Yo, Jess is about to wreck everyone, dude. Jess is about to wreck everyone.
Oh, bro, this is like me and Baldur's.
All right, chat is not, I don't see anything coming from the chat. By the way, y'all can go over to YouTube and see the full screen if you want. Throw a like on the video if you're on TikTok. It's always weird when there's more people watching than there are likes. All right, cool. So
you auditing nowadays? No.
What the hell? Okay, so we spawned in the mystical forest of echoes. Can y'all see this?
I'm trying to hop on a computer so I can see it bigger. But yeah, keep reading it out.
That's what she said.
Whatever.
Backstory. All right, Jess, here's your... I kind of want you to read your own backstory. Is that chill or not? If you're...
I'm happy to do that. I just gotta log in real quick.
Okay, in the meantime, let's see. You spawned in the same region, but do you actually know each other? Mike, since you remember things better, can you give me a 1d20 to see if y'all have either known each other out in the real world or if you've met in this area where you both spawned?
All right. And I also, I know you said we can't log out. Do any of the systems work? Like, do I have a friends list or on that or anything? And I rolled a 16.
Yeah, you got a friends list. Some of the systems work. You'll notice like an inventory, character sheet, these things are working, and you're sort of like getting your bearings at the moment. So with a 16, you do remember seeing Eidolon. You do remember seeing Eidolon. And in fact, you know where they are. So let's see. You, Mike, you are in the town. And yeah. And so what happens is basically the sky turns a reddish color. You see a large figure seeming to take up the entire sky. Here, let me write this down. Mike, what is your name, by the way? What is your character's name? The human tank character.
He's, very straightforward.
Suchi, what up, gang?
Just named, I was gonna say Panzer, but that sounds like Pansy, and I don't like that. So, but we'll just stick with Tank. The human tank character is named Tank.
Nice. The human tank character is named Tank. And then chat says have GPT generate the other character. What is the name of the third female character? Mike, can I get another 1d20 to see if you remember the third person, please?
Absolutely. Let's see here.
Arya is the third character. I love it as a programmer. Okay, so you don't remember the third person. I love it as a programmer because Arya is like an accessibility thing. So that's great. An elemental mage.
This party is a tank, a assassin, and a spellcaster. It's a good party.
No, it's not a party. It's not a party, dude. It could have... Okay, let me be clear. Y'all are not a party right now.
Might be. That one says healing magic. I'm gonna be friends with that person.
You don't remember her, dude. This is the part where I'm not supposed to actually be showing you the screen. I see you. I see you metagaming over there. Okay, so...
Even the prompt things were on a team here.
At the moment, these three are not in a party. And Tank remembers Eidolon, remembers having met Eidolon in game, but none of the other characters remember each other at the moment. GPT is over here trying to GM ahead of what's allowed. Chill, bro. Chill.
The human touch. AI generates, the story, and then you get to control the pacing.
One day in the early afternoon, the sky suddenly... okay. Y'all, did I already mention that you can't log out to GPT? Did I mention that?
I don't believe you mentioned it's GPT. You did say, use the dot hack prompt and sort of online prompt, so I think both of them.
One day in the early afternoon, Tank faintly hears a doorbell buzz in real life. Realizing his pizza has arrived, he attempts to log out. He is struck by terror as he finds that he cannot log out. Suddenly, the sky turns an auburn orange color. You know what? I'm not trying to support auburn. Sorry. A burnt orange color.
There we go.
Suddenly, the sky turns a burnt orange color, and a massive, semi-ethereal and shadowy figure appears in the distance. It appears in the sky. In an unfamiliar voice, in an unfamiliar and powerful voice, this figure confirms that players cannot log out until the boss on the 100th floor is defeated. The figure suggests that players should form groups or guilds, as he has increased the power of one monster on each floor to such an extent that even the strongest max level player could not single-handedly beat the first floor boss. With that, the figure disappears, and the sky resumes its normal appearance. And then we're going to ask GPT, where does Arya find herself in this region? Oh, I wish I could type faster, eh? Maybe I should be using voice to text. So Arya is at the crossroad of the elements. Okay, Mike, since you are a tank and Jess, you are an elven rogue, I'm going to start the turn order with Jess, but Mike, you can give me a 1d6, and if you happen to hit a 6, we'll let you go first, because you got lucky.
Yeah, so we get here. No, that's a 1.
Okay, so you actually, not only are you not first, you miss out on 2 rounds. So
you say miss out, I say I spend my time carefully observing my surroundings, not wanting to jump ahead and make a mistake in this suddenly unexpected situation.
I dig it. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll give you the initial move then for that creativity. So Tank intentionally decides to take nearby shelter and carefully view all happenings for the next hour. Even if it appears safe, he intentionally shelters. He intentionally hides and shelters, despite his massive frame. Tank's decision to take shelter, I kind of want y'all to read your own thing. All right. Let's snap over to... Yeah, Mike, do you want to read yours and then we'll snap over to Idolin? Or should I read it for you? I don't know what screen you're viewing. Is it actually easy for you to read or no?
It's pretty easy to read. I just can only see the part that's actually on your screen there.
Okay, so you can start reading this.
Yeah. Take the decision to take shelter and observe the surroundings is a prudent strategy, especially given the recent unsettling events and the new rule about not being able to log out. His actions reflect a careful and strategic approach befitting his role as a tank character. He's taking shelter in the Hidden Grove, which is a secluded grove within the mystical forest of Echoes, not far from where he heard the announcement. It's a natural hideaway surrounded by dense foliage and overgrown brushes. The canopy above is thick enough to obscure the view from above, making it an ideal spot to stay hidden. Has the advantages of concealment and vantage point, plus it's a nice little resting area that's relatively safe, given the other surroundings. After an hour observation, I have a better understanding of the immediate situation and start formulating my next steps.
Okay, and since GPT is speaking on your behalf, once per round, Mike, you can take issue with what GPT says. For example, if it says it says his next steps might involve. Okay, so you don't need to take issue. But if GPT said his next step is seeking allies, you could cancel that if you want to. But it's just laying out options, so that's fine. Okay, let's snap over to Idolin. Jess, can you see the screen or should I read it out for you?
Let's see here. I can read it.
So why don't you scan through your backstory? Are you going to read it out loud or?
No, I mean, like, you can see it, yeah.
Okay, cool.
There you go, that's good. I just didn't see charisma, that's the only one.
Oh, okay.
Despite advantage, yeah, possesses a charming and persuasive demeanor, spawn region, mystical forest, and echoes. Setting, a dense ancient forest, borders mystical and page, turning, ooh. Yeah, that sounds like, yep, okay. Is this where Mike was, too?
No, y'all are in the same region, but it's not. Hold on. Y'all are in the same region, but it's
inside the mystical forest, but I'm not necessarily by you. I'm in a hidden grove within the mystical forest.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
So I'm going to take the GM prerogative to basically say that Jess, you are currently in a fighting, like a danger zone, basically, and Mike is in a nearby safe zone.
Oh. Why do you say it's like a danger zone?
So the mystical forest.
You were grinding monsters and killing stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The mystical forest is like. Actually, this brings up a fantastic point. Since you were grinding already, why don't you roll a d20? Can you roll 2 d20s? The first is if you were grinding successfully, you might start at a higher level, and the second is if you were grinding successfully, you might start with additional inventory.
Oh.
Dude, you just hit a nat 20. Wow. Okay. So for additional inventory, that's a 9. So you got no additional inventory. You basically have your starter gear just like everybody does, but you are you're a level higher than pretty much everyone else around.
Word.
And do one more, and so we'll see where your health is at. You got this additional level, but are you in good health? Or yeah, okay, you're still in good health actually. All right,
Okay,
and that's
cool.
For the audience. She hit a D17 there. Okay, cool. So you're in this danger zone, but you're still fairly healthy. Your inventory is just the basic inventory. Even though this is like in a fighting area, it's very low level monsters. It's not like, at least as so far that you've seen, it's been very low level monsters. Again, you heard this announcement that somewhere in the region is going to be an insanely powerful monster, but you have no sign that they're anywhere near you.
Okay.
And so what would you like to do from here?
I definitely want to head, I'm wondering, so my person has a pretty good sense of, the area, don't they?
No. Your person, when they suddenly realize that they don't remember anything after you, when you heard this announcement, you suddenly realize that you basically remember nothing except the information in front of us.
But I thought I was like a robot, it says I have great reconnaissance skills and ability to manipulate my surroundings or something, and that am I totally off?
You do not know whether what you are. All you know is that you have no recollection of logging in.
Okay, well, I kind of think that based on my prior description, yeah. So I'm gonna head towards the Lake of Whispers and the Rose of Eldaron. Yeah, so I kind of want to head towards both of them, but I don't know if they're around each other. So the Lake of Whispers, that's where I want to go towards.
Okay. You don't remember what the Lake of Whispers is, but you can sort of just desire to go towards water. So let's do a 1d20 observation check to see if you can sort of just look around and notice that a certain direction might lead you to water.
Okay. 1d20. And I'm getting a 1.
You know exactly where this water is. You don't know how you know, but you are dead set that you should take a certain path. Here, let me write this down. Let me also spell your name correctly, because I will definitely confuse GPT if I spell your name wrong.
Good call.
So, Idolin, and why are you looking for water, by the way?
Hacking. See, expertise in hacking.
Is it like a desire to seek shelter or find treasure, or what is it?
So, like, if it's thirsty, I'm just like, trying to find a little bit of shelter, try to kind of figure out where I'm at, but really, like, there was some, like, let's see, yeah, there's some, like, secrets over there. Like, I know exactly, like, for some reason, I feel like there's something there that I'm supposed to go to.
Okay. So Idolin is in good health with basic inventory, including a bow and light armor. After the terrifying announcement, Idolin reacts entirely undeterred. Seeking
I'm
to...
definitely trying to figure out, like, who I am, too. I feel like that place has not only water, but, like, shelter and secret for me to figure out who I am.
Got it. They realize they have no recollection of logging in.
I think I'm a robot.
And can't even remember their own identity. They wonder if they... Oh, okay, so you actually think so. You're not wondering. You're like, I'm pretty sure I'm a robot, is what you're saying?
I'm like thinking, hey, I have this, like, extreme understanding of the game. Like, I am wondering if I'm human or, like, actually a robot. Like, disguised as a human.
They're wondering if they are a robot or a real-life human. Idolin reacts entirely undeterred. They realize they have no recollection of logging in and can't even remember their own identity. They are wondering if they are a robot or a real-life human playing a game. They discover... okay, let's just leave it like that. So, desiring to uncover the mystery of what's going on, they have the intuition that the Lake of Whispers... They have the intuition that the Lake of Whispers could reveal useful information.
Yes. Nice.
They... look around and develop confidence that a certain path will take them to water. They dart down the path only to find a strange plant monster.
Oh.
This plant monster is making a sound similar to running water. The plant monster surprises Idolin by lashing out. Considering Idolin's abilities, do they inflict any damage, or do they dodge this initial attack? Can I get a 1d6, Jess?
Oh, yeah. Alright, sorry for the lag there, but that's 5.
Cool. Idolin rolled a 1d6 to dodge the surprise attack. and received a 5. And received a 5, so they were not struck. Describe and illustrate this plant monster who is now about to take another turn with initiative. This is a single weak monster. This is a single weak monster designed to combat a level 1 player, and Eidolon is a level 2 player. All right, cool. So hopefully we get our first illustration here.
Let's see, create images. While he's drawing this up, plant monster, you thinking like...
There you go. Check it out.
Dang.
Okay. It's like the Mario plant, but all green instead of all polka dotty.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Having successfully dodged the initial attack, now finds themselves in a confrontation. The plant monster is about to take another turn. The plant monster, okay, and so now, so what does this plant do on their turn? Engages in a more aggressive tactic, a tentacle whip. No, here, I don't want it to tell. What does the plant do on their turn? They can only take a single action. And you should not assume Eidolon's reaction. On its turn, the plant monster focusing on Eidolon takes a single decisive action. It chooses to use its unique ability, Acid Spit. All right, cool. So I will roll for that. Okay, so they have a hit. Print the technical D and D stat sheet for Eidolon, a level 2 elf rogue, and this weak plant monster. Isn't this cool? It can just print out the technical stat sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Given a 1d20 result. Okay, so the plant monster attacked with the acid spit and rolled 12. Describe the impact on Eidolon. So it's a successful hit, right? And then I didn't want to do the damage calculation, so I'm just asking GPT to do it. Let's assume the plant rolls 3 on the d6, resulting in Eidolon taking 3 points of acid damage. Cool. Okay, Jess, it's your turn. So you took 3 points of damage. Let's see, your character, you got a lot more health than that. Yeah, you got 16 health 3 points of damage, so you're at 13 health. You could totally fight this thing. Also, I'm going to modify its health down. I think it has more health than I wanted it to. Yeah, so we'll say it has 6 health points, otherwise as described. So you can fight this thing or run, or what do you want to do?
Well, so for you're scrolling, but I'm trying to look at my abilities and then skills. Okay, here we go. Special abilities. So Fate, Ancestry, Dark Vision, Sneak Attack.
You cannot do a sneak attack because the monster surprised you. So you can't do a sneak attack this turn because you're not hidden, basically. You do have a bow and a dagger.
I know that I want to do the ranged melee attack, but I'm trying. What is Fate Ancestry?
Let's see. The problem is you don't remember anything. Roll a 1d20 spiritual assistance check.
Wait, what do you mean?
Just roll 1d20. Probably this is not going to help you, but if you hit a 20, then it'll fucking definitely help.
Right, so you don't remember logging into the game. You don't remember anything. The earliest thing you remember is the sky turning all dark and this thing saying y'all are all trapped here and you can't leave until you clear the game.
Yeah, Mike's right. Even though he's nowhere near you and you can't hear him, but you still feel a faint voice reflecting the same thing he just said.
So I don't know my own proficiency.
You know what's on the screen in front of us. You rolled a 13 on the spiritual assistance check. What you still don't know what Fey Ancestry does, but you do know that you are an elf with ancestors, and you somewhat feel that if you spent more time to invoke this ability, it could assist you, but you're not at all sure that it would assist you more than, say, just running or attacking. But it could potentially assist you is what you feel based on this 13 roll.
All right. So I ranged attack the weak plant monster.
Okay. Another d20 for this ranged attack.
Okay, let's do it. Boom. Roll a 1d20. I am getting a 14.
14. Okay, solid. Okay, Idolin rolls 14 on a ranged attack against the plant. Okay, so that's a hit. I can just tell you that's a hit. So can you do the damage? What is the damage roll in this case? Is this a d6? I don't know. I'll ask GPT. I think it's a d6. Do you want to go ahead and roll a d6, please?
Sure. A 1.
Okay. You feel your Fey Ancestry trigger without you intentionally doing it, and it allows you to roll that again. It's almost as if a different elf had shot the bow. So roll another d6, please.
That's kind of cool. Alright. Alright.
Sheesh! Okay, well,
Different elf is good.
you just one-shotted that guy.
There you go.
Okay, so you spent your Fey Ancestry and you one-shotted the plant. Nice, dude. Crazy. So you went from a 1d6 to a 6d6. Idolin... How do you spell your stupid name? Idolin shoots the bow. Initially, Idolin shoots the bow, hitting the plant. At first, the arrow appears to bounce off, doing little harm. Then, a split second later, a faint light erupts at the point where the arrow had bounced. It is the Fey Ancestry ability triggering automatically. Shooting the plant and downing it in one shot. Draw an image of this one-shot defeat of the plant monster. Let's get an image. This is going to be the end of your turn when this is over, by the way, Jess.
Okay.
I'm going to jot down that Eidolon has 3 points of damage. If I can ever spell your name, dude. There you go.
Whoa.
That's pretty cool, eh? It's like a freaking portal just opened up on a plant. Okay, so Tank doesn't have a turn. What of this other person? This chat, feel free to go over to YouTube. You can see the full screen or pull up on the Discord. There is a chat character here that you can control by letting me know your thoughts in the chat. You got to be quick, though, because if you take too long, I'm just going to move on. So, chat, you're controlling a character called Arya, who is a human mage. And where is Arya? Let me see if I can find that. Arya's location is the crossroads of the elements. Distinct change in the landscape. So basically, they are on the outside of the forest. So what does Arya do? They have this appearance of a massive character in the sky saying that they can't log out. This is an intelligent human mage. So what is their reaction? I'm going to say she seeks to go to the nearest town. Concerned about the situation, Arya travels to the nearest town and seeks to form a group or like a team. All right, cool. Mike, you spend let's see. You spend your one turn observing. Let's see if you see anything on the way. So you are in the Hidden Grove.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Does Arya pass by the Hidden Grove? Does Arya pass by either player? Does Arya pass by either Eidolon or Tank on her way to town? Or is her visit unknown to them? Given the scenario, no, I don't want to say it's plausible. I want you to say yes or no. Do not leave any ambiguity in the narration of events. Pick yes or no. No, Arya does not pass by either of y'all. Okay, so Jess, it is now your second turn.
All right.
You realize with the defeated plant... Oh, did you get any loot from that plant, by the way? Sure. You have... Let me take another look at this plant. Some acid drool, probably.
Yeah.
Can you roll a 1d6 to see if you have an empty bottle on your person, and you can collect the drool if you want. So you do not have a bottle on your person. You do see some leaves and some roots and some of these teeth. Do you want to take any of those with you?
I want to take a tooth.
Just one?
How many teeth are there? Look around.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It looks like there are 12 teeth in this mouth. You do notice that only a few of them feel loose, so you could spend some more time to yank some out. It would take some time, but there's a few loose ones, and you do notice one particularly large, fairly loose one that you could...
That's the one I want.
Okay, so
the biggest one.
The biggest one that's sort of loose, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you grab that one, throw it in your pack. So Eidolon collects. And since that one was easy to pick up, you still have your turn to spend. Eidolon collects a medium, large, poisonous. How do you spell poisonous? Poisonous monster tooth. I'm pretty sure I didn't spell that right.
I can't see.
Poison us. There you go. Eidolon collects a medium-large poisonous monster tooth. After collecting this, you realize that you're actually nowhere near water. In fact, you seem to feel that you went in the exact opposite direction of the lake. Do you want to continue? And you're actually in a dead end. So you thought you were walking down a trail to the lake, but this trail took you to this monster. You're just in a meadow.
Okay, so there's going to be like two things I do here, but first I want to see prior with the attack. Can you bring me back to that screen where it's showing like the damage I took from the plate monster? I think it said something about my armor being less durable.
Your armor, yeah, it's fine. You had a little bit of wear and tear on your armor, but nothing that basically impacts its functionality. It was light armor to begin with, and it's not that bad.
Okay, so I basically wanted to climb up a tree and see if I can see any signs of a town nearby.
Okay.
Or a lake, for that matter, but...
Eidolon realizes they walked away from the lake towards this monster. After defeating the monster, they realize they intuit that they have walked directly away from the lake. They collect a medium, large, poisonous monster tooth from the fallen monster and search for a... Jess, would you like to look for the tallest tree that is a little bit harder to climb, or a slightly less tall tree that's slightly easier to climb?
The tallest tree.
They search for the tallest tree around and attempt to scale it. Are they successful? Are they successful? Eidolon, after collecting the monster tooth, scouts for the tallest tree. They attempt to scale it. They are likely to be successful. I hate it when the thing says likely. It's like pick yes or no. Upon reaching a suitable vantage point, so basically it's saying you succeeded because it's talking about when you got to the top. Can survey the surrounding area, gaining a better understanding of the landscape and potentially spotting the elusive Lake of Whispers or other points of interest. The perspective might also reveal paths, dangers, or other players in the vicinity, offering Eidolon valuable information for their next move. Okay, do you read this bit here, Jess?
Yes.
And you... okay, that's right. You wanted to look for the lake, you said, as well as the town?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see like what I can see up there, obviously, but like these are the exact things I'm thinking, you know, paths, dangers, other players. I'm trying to see like, hey, what do I see up there? Other players is key as well. I mean, loot, anything. for 3 things: a nearby town, monsters, other players,
Cool.
like loot.
Can you give me, let's see, 4d20, please.
40-20.
Yeah, and we're using ChatGPT, y'all. So this is a ChatGPT assisted RPG game. Oh, okay. So you hit a nat 20 on the third thing. So you see Mike. I mean, you don't know it's Mike, but you see into the hidden grove. It's not too far. It might take you 20 minutes to walk over there, and you see this giant tank clad in very cheap looking bronze armor, trying to hide behind a tiny bush.
Okay, so being a rogue myself, I want to go and sneak.
No. That's you. No, you don't have time to do that. This is the end of your turn.
Okay.
You can't see any monsters, but you notice that there's basically like a canopy of treetops. And by the way, chat, here's what she rolled. So she got a critical failure on spotting monsters, critical success on spotting other players, and relatively poor performance on the other 2. Oh, is Mike snoring?
Mike? Bro.
This is Mike as he's trying to hide behind the bush. He fell asleep.
Bro, he's not. What are you doing? Let me call him. Should I call him?
Yeah, please do.
Sorry, I think you'd kind of cut out on my side there for a second. What's up?
I was just seeing if you're awake. You're about to have your turn.
Yeah, sorry, my volume was just cut off.
Below the treetops, they plainly see Tank hiding behind a bush a few minutes walk. And what was the other thing? And they somewhat see the lake in the same direction as the town.
Any luck with Mike?
Yeah, no, I'm still here. My volume's all messed up for a second.
All right, so Mike, it is now your turn. You have been sitting around for an hour at this point, and at one point you saw like a monster sort of like pass by, but otherwise nothing has happened. So what do you do? Are you going to continue to shelter, or are you going to do something?
So I've been sitting here for about an hour, whole lot of nothing going on. I mean, first thing I would do is check my current state.
What do you mean by state? Do you mean like your inventory and stuff like that?
Yeah, inventory, health, all that.
You are in full health. You had come out here to grind. To grind monsters, and you had killed a few of them, but you had collected. Let's see. Yeah, give me a 1d6 inventory check.
Cool.
To see, you have not gotten a level up for grinding, but maybe you collected some berries or something like that. Nope, you have absolutely nothing to show for it. You have absolutely nothing to show for it. You do have your basic equipment, which includes, let's see, you tell me, because you created this tank. So you're a one-handed sword and a shield, I think, or...
Taking inspiration more from a with a polearm and a shield there.
Okay, like a one-handed spear and a shield?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you have a basic one-handed spear and a basic wooden shield, and you have bronze boots and a bronze chest piece, and that's all you got.
Alright, seeing as though nothing really eventful has occurred in this time, I start looking at my friends list, trying to see, who might be, in the area, who else I can talk with, who I can get information from, stuff like that.
Okay, you look at your friends list. Can I have a 1d20 charisma check for how many friends you had?
Hi, Ellie.
That will be hard, as I do not know what my charisma modifier or anything is, but it's a straight roll of a 2.
Yeah, you
so
don't.
Unless it's,
You don't have any friends. You don't have any friends. You remember seeing some people, including Idolin, but you never bothered to actually talk to them. You're actually generally somewhat antisocial, usually.
that doesn't make sense. Yeah. I guess the most important thing is, so I have no like.
Let me ask you this.
Stuff on me, correct?
Let me ask you this. As you reflect on the fact that you have basically no friends, are you content or are you upset by this?
How do you feel?
I am content by this, but in this particular moment, now find it unfortunate.
Yeah, and let me jot this down. Reflecting on the fact that he has added no friends in game, friends in the game, he isn't upset, but he finds it rather unfortunate.
Given that the stakes of dying have now increased, meaning I need party members instead of it just being like recommended. So
Okay, roll a let's see, a 1d20 intelligence check. And then give me 2 d20s. The first will be intelligence, and the second will be a strategic military thinker.
So my intelligence is close to a 10, but the strategic military thinking was an 18.
Cool. So in terms of your intellectual side, you don't really know how important humans or friends are in general. But when it comes to fighting, suddenly you picture yourself fighting that monster, and you just imagine just the scariest monster, and you think to yourself, wow, I should go back to town and actually invest in some friends this time. You remember the correct way to town.
Yeah, realizing that, grinding out monsters without, a healer doesn't make sense, given that this now seems like a much more life and death situation. I agree. I head to town, start trying to piece together a party, or at least get some info from people.
Now, is your intent at the moment defensive, that you just want to survive, or is your intent at the moment that you're trying to gather a war party and find the boss?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. I am a tank. I do need to literally survive, so that's, as far as what party members I'm looking for, my survivability is up there on the list. But the intent is, gotta kill monsters, gotta get stronger to survive, good offense, all that.
Okay, can I get 2 more d20s? The first is a danger check, and the second is a stealth check. You're -3 on the stealth check.
Got an 11 for both.
Okay, so the danger check, you do encounter a weak monster, and you're a bit noisy, but not crazy, just enough to basically catch the attention of what appears to be a larger than average squirrel. He does this for, okay, so you're heading to town, and on your path to town, you come across the squirrel. On the path to town, he his boots make a bit of noise, not too much, but enough to catch the attention of a larger than normal and aggressive squirrel-like monster. Let's see. This monster is convinced that you are walking into its territory. And then I'll ask GPT, what does it do? What'd it do?
What'd it do? Also, you are walking. Come on, man.
Did I say that? Oh, man.
No, but you typed it.
Bummer. The larger than normal and aggressive squirrel-like monster perceives you as an intruder. It decides to confront you. Initially, the squirrel exhibits posturing. Mike, can you do a 1d20 intimidation check? You're receiving the intimidation, not causing it, right? And you have a +6 here. Wow, you were you were almost scared by the squirrel, and then you realized it's pretty much a squirrel, and you mellowed out. He rolled a D3. Dude, I wish you had rolled a D1, in which case you would have been terrified by this little squirrel. Okay, that was great. I'm picturing you like you know the movie that has the llama guy?
The llama guy?
Yeah, like the Emperor's New whatever. Emperor's New.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm picturing you like the big guy.
I want to say Kronk, but I think
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, that's how I'm picturing you. And you're walking down the forest, and this squirrel just kind of scares the shit out of you, but you collect yourself before he does anything. As it gets closer, the monster prepares to attack. Given the scenario, Tank has a few choices. Okay, well, I'll go with this. So it shook you a little bit, but you noticed it. It didn't actually catch you off guard before it did anything, and so you realize that you have a few choices. You can own this noob, you can run, or you can, basically you can prepare for it to attack you, or you can fight it, or you can run. I mean, I guess in theory you could also try to like be nice to it or something, but I don't know if that's your style, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
So I'm at the town, the thing jumps out, given that I don't have much in my inventory, I assume I have not been playing this game, long enough to know, is Giant Squirrel Boy here a threat to my level whatever tank character? So
let's do a 1d20, a 2d20 combination intelligence and strategic thinking check.
Cool.
So we got a total of 20. The first one was a 3, second was a 17.
So on the strategic thinking, you do realize there could be things in your pack that would piss off this squirrel even more. But on your 1d20 intelligence, you actually don't think any of the things in your pack would do that. And let's do a 1d6 intelligent, or like 1d6 inventory check.
All right, that's a 1.
You forgot that you have 2 handfuls of acorns in your pack.
No, I'm not trying to make nice of it. Those are my acorns. I might need them for later.
No, you don't even remember that they're there. You paused and reflected and realized something could piss off the squirrel, but you thought it was fine. You're like, nah, nothing in my pack is.
The stuff in my pack is for me anyways,
That's right.
So, don't know how much of a threat this squirrel is. I'm a level 1 character. I'm not trying to overestimate myself here. So yeah, I get ready for combat. I enter a bit of a defensive posture. So assuming it's gonna lunge at me, and I'm gonna try and like block it, counter attack kind of deal. But I'm not gonna engage first.
Okay, let's do a let's see.
Can we get a picture of the squirrel?
Defensive posture, getting ready to counter any attack made by the squirrel.
Tank forms a defensive stance. You put your shield up, right? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Putting his shield up and preparing his spear. So you can do a 1d20, basically just like an ability check to see like how potent this is going to be. Forms a defensive stance, putting his shield up and preparing his spear.
Let's see. Oh, not 1s20.
Cool. All right.
It's an 8.
Yeah, that's fine. It'll just be like normal, sort of like average ability. He anticipates the squirrel monster to lunge and prepares to counter. What happens?
Do we get a picture after?
Oh, okay. That's great. What happens? Describe it and draw a picture of the scene. Of this scene.
Thank you.
Good call. It's like half the fun, right? Is these pictures.
I really did make those photos, yeah.
Bro, I genuinely hope that you're fucking jacked. Like, genuinely, dude. I hope it's like The Rock.
Since we have this create image thing, I don't know if you can add it to the initial prompt of just like any named character or encountered monster should generate a picture. I don't know if you just add that into the prompt.
I might.
It looks like Jack Black, but
I might be able to do that.
For a future thing. Right now, we would just tell it each time.
it's still generating, huh?
It might be done, but I'm grabbing all the pictures so I can keep them in Discord. So the pictures, like, at least last time that I tried this, they kind of like go away after a while and you can't really share them. So you gotta grab them. You gotta kind of grab them while they're hot, so to speak.
I look badass.
Whoa! Dude! That's
Dude! My!
Dude, the squirrel is jacked as well.
Does the squirrel have a shield?
Yeah, this... Dude, I don't know. I'm rethinking my...
Just a squirrel.
I think we're seeing how low your intelligence check is, dude, because you're like, I could take him. You're like, I could take him.
Field boss monster didn't realize it. It's the, like, aggressive squirrel in all red and, like, skull icons next to it. I was just like, yeah, sounds straightforward.
Yeah, when I said larger than average, I wasn't thinking of that. But I mean, it's not technically wrong, right? That is larger than average. The aggressive squirrel monster, emboldened by its perceived territorial breach, lunges at Tank with remarkable speed. Okay? Tank, ever the strategist and skilled in combat, reacts swiftly. This is hilarious, dude, because in your mind, you're like, it's a little bit of a big squirrel. But like in reality, it's like much larger than you are. You're like, it's kind of inconvenient. As the monster leaps toward you, you expertly maneuver your shield to deflect the brunt of the attack, using the momentum to position your spear for a precise counter. The air is thick with tension as Tank readies himself to strike, his eyes focused and unyielding. In this moment, the forest seems to hold its breath, awaiting the outcome of this unexpected confrontation. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna do a 1d6 environment check. Sorry, a 1d20. Because based on what GPT said, it's almost as if the spirit of the forest is abandoning the squirrel. Okay, so we rolled an 11. So the answer is like kind of. And Mike, do you have no, never mind. I'm not going to ask that. Okay, so basically this just adds a +1 to your like preparation. So you're super prepared. You're ready. What does this say? Readying yourself to strike, eyes focused and unyielding. Cool. Can I get so you already rolled on how effective this was going to be, and it was going to be average, right? Okay. So your preparation is a +1, and then this environment modifier is another +1. So it's your turn, and basically whatever you do is going to have a +2 this turn.
Yeah, I don't think we ever really made a character list here, but I can assume general basic tanky abilities. I stab at the squirrel. That's all basic level tanks have.
Yep. Yeah, and I basically, the way this works is I'll generate a technical stat sheet, kind of like if I feel like I need to. Otherwise, just kind of go with it as a narrative approach. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I mean, from a narrative perspective.
That I have the upper hand, and in positioning, I press my attack.
Cool. Yeah, and you kind of do, right? You're in an advantaged position. Okay. Yeah. Can I get a 1d20, please?
Yeah.
From his advantaged position, tank attacks. Yeah, I mean, unless you got a 1, it's gonna connect. Okay, and can I do the 1d6 damage check, please?
Yeah. That's a 5.
Okay, landing a solid strike. What happens next? So the squirrel is startled and wounded. Chat, GPT-4 has pics now. Yeah, it does. Isn't that cool? Do you know how to code? I'm great at it. How about you? Thanks for being here, chat. By the way, you can go over to YouTube and see the full screen, and you can also pull up on the Discord and contribute to the game if you want to.
It's weird. I have it pulled up right now, and it's like weird with the lag just a little. But it's not nearly as bad as I thought it'd be.
Mike, do you want to read the round result?
Yeah. Tank strike is well executed and effective. The spear finds its mark, dealing a significant blow to the aggressive squirrel-like monster. Startled and wounded, the creature recoils from the impact, its aggressive stance momentarily faltering. Despite its injuries, the monster isn't immediately incapacitated. It staggers back, eyeing the tank warily, assessing whether to continue the attack or retreat. Its natural instincts conflict with the pain from its wound, creating a moment of uncertainty. Tank, remaining vigilant, prepares for the monster's next move. He adjusts his grip on his spear and shield, ready to defend or attack based on the creature's decision. The forest, once filled with the sounds of their skirmish, falls into a tense silence as the next phase of the encounter unfolds.
All right, so the chat is asking for a picture of a computer architecture circuit. So we're going to play this into the game, actually. So Mike, after you strike this animal, you strike it pretty well, like it's almost critical, and it staggers back, and then you are basically preparing yourself for the next round, just like the monster is, and the thing even says the forest itself is waiting. But what happens is, in the blink of an eye, you have basically a super quick migraine flash headache where you see a vision of a computer architecture circuit. For an instant, Tank has a quick migraine shooting headache. And his vision is replaced by a picture of a computer circuit architecture with a current flowing through it. Draw a picture of what he sees. Does he recover in time for the next round to continue normally? Or is he momentarily stunned? Does the monster seem to have any experience or reaction?
All right, let's see how it's going to generate this.
Kay says, do you go live every day? I don't have a set schedule, but I just go live whenever I kind of want to. And I would say it's about, I don't know, probably 3 days a week. So remember, Mike, you know that you are a human that's stuck in the game, but this is your in real life person having a shooting headache for just a moment. And this is what you see, dude. This is what you see.
Yo, that's wild.
That's awesome, to be honest with you.
I wish my eyes were that blue. Any of our eyes were that blue. Dang.
All right, chat. So there's the architecture you requested. Thanks for being here. Tap like if you're having fun. Okay, so let's see what happens. Tank's sudden intense headache and accompanying hallucination momentarily distort him. The vivid and complex image of the circuit momentarily replace his vision, hinting at a deeper, perhaps digital artifact of his existence in the game. The unexpected episode caused you to be momentarily stunned. The squirrel, however, does not seem to react to the momentary lapse. It doesn't appear to have any understanding of your experience. The creature, still recovering from its wound. Whoa, this sucks, dude. Chat just did you dirty, to be honest with you. I don't know why they hate you, bro. Okay. Hey, chat, drop a event that helps him if you like him. Or, I don't know, you can keep messing him up if you want to. However you feel. Collaborative storytelling for the win. Can you ask it to make an ER diagram of a database and don't make it part of the story? No, I'm not going to do that. You feel free to go get your own GPT, but we're playing a game today. The squirrel-like monster prepares to strike again. Your moment of vulnerability passes quickly. Okay, so basically you're just it doesn't actually attack you in time. Let's see. You took your turn, so it is the squirrel's turn. So I'm gonna do I'm gonna ask the GPT. Does the squirrel stand its ground, throw a ranged object, or physically charge tank?
Alright,
I think charging you would suck.
Okay, the squirrel monster, it charges you. Claws extended, moves with surprising speed, so it's going to get a +1 on that. And you're at you're not fully stunned, but you are at disadvantage due to the headache. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to do a 1d20 attack roll, and the monster will have +1 and you'll have -1.
all right, you need me to roll one as well, or you just got this?
Let's see. Yeah, you can roll a d20. You can roll a d20 to see if you have basically if you get that shield up in time.
I think I got that. I rolled 19.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Modified 18.
For sure. So despite your headache, you still managed to shield yourself. This is the second time the monster has sort of hit that shield, though. You seem to be doing fine for now, but you realize that this is just like a weak wooden sort of cheap shield, and you suspect that if even if you block again, that you will start to notice where like damage on the shield itself. But for now, you feel more or less fine. Okay, so tank shields the assault, taking no damage, but he feels the shield starting to weaken. Another hit like that, and it might just crack. He feels the cheap wooden shield. So what do you do on your turn now, Mike?
Feeling that my defensive posturing is at its end with the breaking of the shield or the deteriorating quality of the shield, redouble my aggressive action and continue to stab at the squirrel.
Go, buddy, go.
Feeling his defensive stance wane, Tank doubles down on aggressive action. Let's see. So this monster sort of attacks you, and then it like falls down. He stabs at the squirrel. All right, let's get a 1d20, sir.
All right, yeah, let's go here. That's only coming out to a 7.
Okay, and then let's see. I'll do a 1d20 dodge for the. I mean, you don't know what number this is. Okay, so even though your attack was sloppy, the dodge was also sloppy, so you caught him in the hind leg. Let's do a 1d6 minus 1.
That's going to be a total of a modified 2.
The stab is a bit sloppy, but connects anyway, despite the agility of the squirrel. It fails to dodge. The attack deals light damage. What happens next? The damage inflicted slows it down a bit, so it seems like you caught it in the leg, so it's losing a bit of its agility now. So they will have they are slowed down a little bit. The monster, now more cautious due to its injury, assesses the situation. Realizing that a direct assault might not be best, it starts to circle around Tank, looking for an opening or a weak spot. Its movements are quick but more measured, reflecting a mix of wariness and determination. Tank, on the other hand, is aware that your shield might not withstand another hit. Okay, so basically the squirrel is taking a defensive stance. I'm going to do a 1d20 check about basically are y'all being too noisy and attracting more attention. Yeah, so you're starting to attract some attention. So you notice 2 sets of eyes out of the corner of your eye. You notice 2 sets of eyes. You don't. I'll leave it up to you. It's your turn now. So do you want to try to get more details about what those things are? You feel as though you're starting to attract some attention.
All right. I mean, how far am I still from like the city, or just away from here?
You think you're pretty close to the city. You think you're maybe 5 minutes walk, and then less than that if you're sort of like running.
All right. Well, as the squirrel is circling me, once it is essentially out of my way, I'm going to maintain a defensive stance while retreating towards the city.
Ah, very smart. as the squirrel monster circles tank, it eventually places itself on away from the direction of the town where Tank would like to go. Tank resumes a defensive stance himself, being aware of their battle drawing slightly more attention, and carefully, are you walking or running, Mike? So how much, basically, how much effort are you putting into, correct me if I'm wrong, this is basically a retreat, and how much effort are you putting into the retreat versus the defense?
I'd say it's probably about 70 towards the defense, 30 towards the retreat.
Got it.
You know, I'm doing a walking pace, but I'm not turning and running towards that.
Perfect. Okay. And carefully walks, being aware of their battle, drawing slightly more attention, and carefully walks in the direction of the town. So I'm going to do a 1d20 check on if the squirrel is de-escalating aggression. Not really. Okay, not really. The squirrel is no more or less antagonized by this direction of walking. What happens next? The squirrel monster, still circling Tank, seems to understand that his opponent is not directly engaging in further combat, but instead is moving away. This shift in Tank's behavior alters the dynamics of the encounter. The monster, while still cautious and ready to defend its territory, doesn't pursue Tank aggressively as he moves towards the town. It remains vigilant, watching Tank's... Cool. The monster recognizing that it's leaving its territory gradually. Okay, so basically, the squirrel is going to do another defensive move, and they're going to seem to accumulate so that it's extremely aware of your movements at this point. All right, it's on to you again, Mike.
Seeing that it's also, kind of defensive right now, I'm going to continue retreating towards town.
As you continue retreating towards town, are you facing the squirrel still?
Still facing the squirrel. I would say at this point it's closer to about a 50-50 split as the distance between us widens. But I'm still very much paying most of my attention to the thing that is still a threat. Okay,
I'm going to do a 1d20 environment check. A 16. Okay. So as you shift from this 30-70 to this 50-50, you're speeding up, you're getting out of range of the territory, and a small squirrel-like monster, much smaller than this one, makes a leap at your pack from behind. You are still very much focused on the main squirrel monster, and it fails. So this smaller squirrel monster appears to have been trying to take a swipe at your pack, but you notice just in time, and you get a bonus move.
Is there a decent amount of distance between me and the big squirrel dude now?
There is. There's about 30 feet, and you feel that that if you took advantage of this bonus move to leap away rather than to leap towards or something like that, you feel there's a good chance that it would just sort of stay there and leave you alone.
Yeah, that's our plan there. Seeing that there's now more little dude's kind of attacking us, and the big guy is not the immediate threat anymore. Now that there's potential for these smaller threats around, we're gonna turn hide. We're now in full retreat mode. Kick up dust, all that kind of stuff.
All right, sir. 1d6, please.
Yeah.
Cool. And you get away. And pretty soon you are at the town, slightly out of breath. Once you make it into the city limits, you slow to a walk. You take a few deep breaths, and you are perfectly recovered. Your training as a warrior paying off in terms of your physical health and your ability to gain your breath back very quickly. Okay. Tank. So let's see. A smaller squirrel leaps at, and I can't spell squirrel, a smaller squirrel-like monster leaps at Tank's pack from behind, swiping to tear it with sharp claws. This small monster misses, but the shock jolts Tank into an adrenaline-fueled extra move. Tank uses this energy to burst down the path towards the town at full tilt and escapes successfully. Soon, he finds himself in the town. Okay, cool. I'm going to do a 1d6 check about if the mage human who's in the town notices you. And they don't notice you. It's not like you're hidden or anything, but they're not really paying attention.
Gotcha.
Okay. And you can do a d20 observation check.
Let's see. That's a 7.
Got it. Okay, as he arrives, he neither notices the crowds gathering at the center of town, nor is he noticed by them. Still, he sees a character or two walking about. And so now it's Jesse's turn, right?
What's up?
So you're hanging out in the treetop right now?
Yep.
The scene now focuses on Idolin. Am I spelling your name right? Idolin.
Yeah, looks like it, yeah.
So what are you up to, Idolin? You found Mike, and you literally watched him fuck around with these squirrels. First of all, how did you react? Did you laugh about it? Were you scared? Were you angry? What is your thought as you saw this battle take place?
Honestly, I was like, am I a robot? Am I real? What's going on? I think I'm very much so realizing that what I'm seeing and feeling like there's another person like me, like a human elf out there, and I'm over here basically like, hey, this is real, and I think I'm having a reality check, kind of like a very surreal feeling now. And so I want to obviously, thirsty, like I said, I was looking for water. Now that I see a town and people, I'm thinking, okay, am I tripping out? Basically, I just fought this like plant monster, like I cut its tooth off and took it with me to prove that it's not a trip, like that really just happened. So I'm gonna go to the. I'm basically convinced that there's some like crazy magic power in the forest going on. I just witnessed it in a giant freaking squirrel and a plant, and I'm trying to get to town right away. So I'm pretty, I think, alarmed by what I saw and very quick to act in a roguelike manner though, where I'm like trying to just do like an observation check and see like if there's anything like around me, but I want to go to town like kind of in the shadows, so to speak, and try to avoid these monsters I just witnessed.
Okay, so the way I'm summing this up, Eidolon wonders if they are seeing reality, then becomes convinced that there is an alarming magic power in the forest. Eidolon would like to visit town, but they are not being too hasty, and they ensure that they can navigate to the town in a safe and roguelike way. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, can I get a D20 stealth check, please?
Yeah, let's do it.
And what's your skill on stealth? It wasn't +7, was it? It was pretty good. Whatever it was.
Hey, Mike, will you do the roll for me real quick?
Yeah, you can't do it in here. It has to be in the laterally. But what
I
are we
know.
rolling?
A D20.
Yeah, congratulations. You got a 12.
All right.
And you're +5 on stealth. Oh, and you're +5 on acrobatics. So you should have no problem getting down this tree. And you're +3 on perception. Dang, dude, your character is cool, dude. It was kind of fucked up that you have all this archery ability, but you didn't want to help Mike from up there. But anyway.
I didn't get a choice, man.
I don't know. You might have had a choice. Okay. So you're doing a D12 stealth check. Okay, so you're pretty stealthy, right? Can I also get the 1D20? Let's do 2 more D20s. One is sort of like your perception and observation, and the other is in terms of your just overall plan.
Okay, you said 2, so I have a 3 and then a 10. Yikes.
Okay, and so your perception is not particularly good. Yeah. And earlier when you were looking around, you didn't see the monsters, but you couldn't really see through the treetops either. So in terms of your plan, what is your plan? If you run into a monster, or like, are you really just focused on getting to town ASAP, or are you sort of still exploring, or what's going on?
No, so I'm definitely focused on getting to town ASAP. I am convinced that, hey, I'm not tripping out, I'm not a robot. Like, let me basically try to see if there's any people there that are experiencing something similar, that are down to explore as well, find the truth of what's going on here, because I basically believe that there's some magic power that's, the forest came alive, the vines tried to kill me, and like, I want to see if they can look at this tooth maybe at all, like if there's a magic person who can look at the tooth, if there's anybody who wants to link up, and then thirdly, I want to find supplies, because I am fully aware that I might encounter some damage, like I might encounter like a crazy random monster from this magic thing, and before I take off and everything, that's kind of why I wanted to see, hey, is there anything nearby worth getting, but just this tooth, so yeah, that's kind of why I'm going to town.
Okay.
And then I do want to go to the Whispering Waters, but as we all know, like when we had that whole prior trek, you could tell that the town was on the way to the waters. So the whole time I have been trying to go to those Whispering Waters. That is still the plan. It's just good I get to stop along the way for knowledge.
Okay, so the lake was actually... okay. This is interesting. So you saw... maybe I should draw this out a bit. You saw Mike in this grove, and you saw him go to town. But you also saw him fighting. So you could basically retrace the way that he went. You know what that way is. But do you want to, or do you want to take an unknown path, which might or might not... It might be safer, or it might not be safer. Okay, so you're over here. Here's the grove over here. Here's the town over here. And here's the water over here. So the water is actually a little bit further than the town. Can you see my screen, by the way?
Yeah, I can. Did I already do like a perception check and stuff, by the way?
Your perception is shit, sis. Sorry to tell you. You checked it, but it wasn't very good.
Thanks, so.
Or put it another way, you think there are no monsters around based on like what your eyes are telling you, but you know that there are some monsters just based on your experience in watching Tank. So you know that there's monsters, but you're not like seeing them.
Okay.
All right, and so then I'm going to put in this gray area is the question mark that you could do if you want. Or obviously, like you could go kind of away from town if you want to, but I don't think that you want to, right?
So you see how I could do like a triangle, and it's actually a shorter distance?
1 second, let me type the question marks. Boop.
Okay.
I could do a triangle. Okay, so you want to go straight to town, basically not through where Mike was, right?
Right. That's what I'm thinking. I want to do it in a very subtle way, because I'm fully aware that they're giant monsters. So I want to try to avoid that circle over there and kind of just go my own way. I think that's a shorter distance anyway.
Okay, so you're not trying to go to the water in this case. You're trying to go like straight to the
giant gray thing.
What?
What's the giant gray thing?
The gray thing is like you don't know what's between you and the water if you go straight to the water. So are you trying to go to town or are you trying to go to the water? And then you know about this safe grove over here. So that's the safe grove. And then you also know...
Where did you guys see this giant gray thing?
What?
You don't. It's to represent the unknown.
Okay, well, the path I'm going is still the unknown, right?
Yeah, it's shorter though. So it's going to be shorter to go directly to town than it is to go to the water and then to town.
Yeah, so that's where I'm going. The path, the little one you drew. Straight to the brown town.
You're trying to... Straight to Browntown. Oh, yeah.
That's where I'm headed.
I'm going to drink. I'll be back in about 30 seconds.
Okay, cool. We got a little game map. Isn't that fun?
So fun.
All right. Given that you are fast, there's a chance that you can make it directly there in one turn. Can I have a 1D? So let me get 3D20, please. And the first will be speed. The second will be encounters, and then the third will be like non-monster encounters, like items, basically. Okay, so your speed is like unremarkable. The monsters are a higher, like not a crazy chance, but a higher chance, and then inventory check is low. Okay, so you do.
Inventory check is low. Okay.
So you do not make it there in one turn. You do come across some monsters, and they make you basically slow down. So it's your choice. Do you want to continue to slow down and be stealthy, or do you want to blitz full tilt to get to that town ASAP, knowing that you might cause a bit more noise? That's up to you.
No, I've definitely been trying to go the stealthy route this whole time.
Okay.
And even now, going down slowly through the tree, and obviously being very cautious. Okay. So yeah.
So you don't they don't notice you. You're successfully being stealthy, but the cost of that is that you're slowing down and you don't quite make it to town. So Idolin looks around but doesn't notice any monsters. They still believe there are monsters based on their recent experiences as well as watching Tank. They make a beeline. Does GPT know what a beeline is? They descend the tree and head directly toward the town, despite the fact that there is no like well-beaten path. They are slowed by vegetation, but maintain a stealthy approach. Vegetation. At one point, Idolin does notice a group of beasts, but at one point, Idolin does notice a group of beasts. In order to maintain stealth, he slows a bit and goes unnoticed. Can I have a 1d6 illustration check, please?
Yes.
So you get a 5 or a 6, we'll draw this up. Ayo!
Nice.
Draw the scene of Idolin successfully hiding from monsters in the meadow. Or from monsters in the meadow. Or in the wild, I'll say. It may or may not be a meadow. Huh? All right, let's draw it.
Nice. So on your version of ChatGPT here, do you get to keep this as a saved chat?
I do, but if I try to send you the saved chat, you will not be able to see the pictures, at least not last time I checked.
Cool.
Oh, wow. That's like a lot of wolves, dude. Good thing that you didn't have to fight them, huh?
Where is it? Ooh.
Are you seeing that?
Good. Yeah, look at me all stealthy. That's a lot of beasts. Yeah, I thought it was going to be just a few monsters I saw.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a few too, but apparently it was like a whole pack of wolves. So good thing you chilled out, eh?
Yeah.
All right, and now we are over to, what's her name? Her name is Arya. Back in town, Arya issues a general call to gather a warband to find and destroy the first floor boss. Describe what occurs in 3 steps. How successful is she? Does the town rally around her or fragment into multiple groups? Mike, can you roll another 1d20 observation check to see if basically if you know what, you do hear about these calls. So let's see what the result is, and then you can tell us how you react to that result on your turn. But you do hear that people are trying to organize in the town square. Does the town rally around her or fragment into multiple groups? There are approximately 200, or there are approximately 200, let's see. There are approximately 300 characters in the town. About 2/3 of these characters are player characters. How many guilds or how many of these characters join Arya's team compared to other teams or staying alone? Name the let's see. Yeah, Mike, can I have a 1d20 perception check, please? So we're going to see how many of these groups you end up hearing about. 18. Wow. So you hear about the vast majority of them.
Oh.
Tank hears about the vast majority of these groups, even some of the smaller ones. How many groups are there? And what are how many of these groups are there? Considering the dynamics of Arya's recruitment effort and the response, we can estimate the distribution as follows. About 40%, so around 80 players join Arya's group. So it's basically like a guild at this point, right? So Mike, it is now over to you. Do you want to join up with Arya, or do you want to talk around to some of these smaller groups, or maybe even like deal with the NPCs for a bit? Or maybe even try to make your own group. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. You can go back out in the wilderness and fight some animals if you want to.
So as much as, I agree with, hey, we need to kill that boss, I'm a level 1 dude who just got out of a fight with a squirrel, and it didn't seem to go overwhelmingly my way. So I'm looking for a leveling group. People that aren't necessarily going out to try and kill the boss right now, but just people that are focused on adjusting to the new reality, leveling up, getting a bit stronger. So I'm looking around for anyone who's in need of a tank, leveling. I assume there are people in the square talking about their groups, but I'm looking for any group in need of a tank with plans to level up, grind monsters, not necessarily hunt down the boss.
Tank looks around for any group that is in need of a tank build character. He is interested in a bit of grinding so that he can level up. He is not currently interested in joining Arya's group. Can I have a 1d20 miraculous event check?
That is going to be a 13.
Okay. So you did not have the miraculous event, but you do find several groups that basically fit this description. Can I have a yeah, that'll be fine. He is not currently interested in joining Arya's group. He finds a 1d6 group count check. 1d6. Okay. He finds 5 groups that fit this description. Oh, sorry. Sorry, man.
No, you rolled for me.
Is that fine? Okay. I didn't check who rolled it. I just got trolled. He finds 5 groups that fit this description to varying extents, and spends a 1d20 charisma check, Mike, and you're gonna have disadvantage on this.
But I'm such a great guy. We went over that already.
A nat 20! Let's go!
You said disadvantage on that, right?
No, the nat 20 is going to take care of it. Don't stress. So you're not walking in here like Jesus, but you more than made up for your natural inability. People still think you're pretty cool. He finds 5 groups that fit this description to varying extents and spends more than an hour learning about these groups. The groups respond positively and exhibit. Can I have a 1d6? A 1d6. Basically, this is like a particularly, I don't know, bad personality fit kind of thing. Okay, no, it doesn't happen. Okay. The groups respond positively and all exhibit interest and share their background. Describe these groups, their size, abilities, goals, and background. Cool. And while you read through this, I'm going to go use the restroom.
Just be sure to scroll up a little bit here.
Yeah, we can't see it, huh?
Yeah, no, unfortunately, just part of that.
Got to scroll down a little bit. Group 3. How well can you see? You can see 3 and 4 now?
Well, we couldn't see it all at the I'm not really sure which story it is. Okay.
Let me scroll up so I can just get their names. So there is the Shield Bearers, Wanderers, Mercenaries, and Elementalists so far.
Right,
Actually, I'm going to copy this whole... This is like a bit of lore in our game. This is awesome, dude. I didn't have to spend time making this up. It just made it for us.
Yeah, honestly, so Microsoft announced recently that they're partnering with some new upcoming AI technology to help small developers like create storylines and stuff. And people were talking about, if it's good or bad or whatnot. I think honestly for like indies stuff, it's amazing because you can do something like this. You can very quickly get, a story thread going and then prune it to what fits in your game.
Yeah, I agree with you, dude. Chat says, are you using AI to create a story? Yes, we are. What exactly are the parameters? What is the problem? I came in late. So we're playing an RPG game. Mike, how would you summarize the situation right now? Basically, there is a town. Okay. So the big problem is that players are locked in an MMORPG and they can't log out. So their brains are attached through like a Neuralink, or in Sword Art Online, it's called a nerve gear, and they can't get out of the game.
That's the best way to phrase it. Is this is just a RPG based on a very similar premise to similar opening premise to Sword Art Online. Don't know about how things go down the road, but at least right now it's, hey, we're trapped in here, we have to kill a boss at the end of the 100th floor or whatever to get out of here. That's all we really know right now. Can't log out.
Yeah. What's MMORPG stand for? Oh, that's a massive multiplayer online RPG role-playing game. So like
WoW.
What'd you say?
Like WoW, kind of like, World of Warcraft is probably the most popular example of an MMO.
RuneScape is another, right?
Yeah, RuneScape would be up there.
So if you've seen the Emperor's, what is it? Emperor's New Groove with the llama, kind of like a mix of that and RuneScape. I just butchered it. Oh well. So, and I dropped the lore. This is awesome. We got our own lore coming up. What do you think? Do you still need some more time to think, or?
What was this last group there I was looking at?
Let's do a 1d6 simp check. Do any of these groups like you so much that they're willing to give you basically a bribe to join them?
just so you're aware, it's called a sign-on bonus.
We call it Simpin. A 1. Okay. Absolutely no one is... as much as everyone likes you, no one is going to give you a bonus. And in fact, if you join with any of these groups, they all want you to sort of prove your loyalty in some way.
Your loyalty is a strong one. So yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I don't have loyalty. You're like, I don't have loyalty for any of them.
Look, based off the goals and background of the people I was reading, the first one, the Shield Bearers, the small group of IRL friends. So scroll up a little bit more there. Yeah, these are just good old dungeon crawling, kill some monsters for loot and experience. Friends who know each other pretty well. Plus, they already got a healer and a mage. So even though they already got 2 warriors, a dedicated tank, always welcome that kind of setup. So I'm going to reach out to the Shield Bearers and, try and join them on some dungeon crawling, experience gathering activities.
Eric says, are all of the groups smaller parts of the same team? Kind of. So everyone is trying to clear the world. So the world has 100 levels. At least this is what they've been told so far. When they noticed that they couldn't log out, a shadowy figure appeared in the sky and told them all that they couldn't log out until they clear the boss on the 100th floor. So there's again, we only have knowledge about this region. In this region, there are about 200 player characters, give or take. And we can see that about 140 of them have signed into groups. So there might be as many as like 60 people who potentially don't care or are not, quote unquote, on the same team. But loosely, all of these groups are interested in eventually... you know what? That's not true. But most of these groups are interested in eventually getting out of the game or clearing the world, to varying extents. So as you can see, Mike is more interested in the moment at leveling up. But I don't know. What do you think, Mike? After you level up, let's say you max out your level. Are you just going to chill on the first floor, or would you eventually want to go?
No. The goal is to get out of here, but it's you can't start with hunting down the boss.
Yeah.
Because that's a great way to make sure you die.
Can you give me a 1d20, another 1d20 observation check, and a 1d20 sense evil check?
All right, general observation. We're looking at a 13. My sense evil is a whopping 2.
And then I'll do my own 1d20. 11. Okay, so actually, we do think that some of these groups are, let's say, not aligned with everyone. So in general, everyone wants to clear the world and get out. So in general, everyone kind of has the same goal. But we do seem to think that, I don't know, there might be a couple of groups that are, let's say, trolls or something like that. Although Mike was not able to identify them.
Incorrect. I identified all of them perfectly, and I didn't join their group. Obviously, the people I'm with are perfect.
Awesome. Okay, Tank expresses an interest in joining the Shield Bearers. They are happy to have him join. They would like him to show some skin in the game. What did I say?
Frontline it. Let's go.
What did I say earlier? What was the word?
Loyalty.
Loyalty or allegiance through by giving him some task or burden. Describe what they say specifically. Describe what they request. Eric says, are the trolls within group put there by evil level 100 boss sabotage? We don't know. We don't know, Eric. That's a great question. That's a great question, Eric. By the way, this is a collaborative RPG, so chat, if y'all request, you can try to take actions yourself as well, as the environment or as random characters and stuff. The shield bearers, pleased with Tank's interest in joining their ranks. Okay, initiation task, the Gauntlet of Valor. Tank is tasked with completing a solo challenge known as the Gauntlet of Valor. Oh, let's go! The challenge involves navigating through a perilous, monster-infested mini-dungeon near the town. Awesome.
Cool. Tank declines. These people don't appear to understand the purpose of groups for leveling up.
Tank must complete the challenge without any external assistance. He's allowed to use his current gear. Use of potions or other aid is prohibited. The primary is to retrieve the Crest of Courage. Mike, let's do a 1d20 miraculous event check.
That's gonna be a 1.
Wow. So you... dang, I should have asked... Dang, I did this in the wrong order. I should have asked you if you just want to do this at all before I had you roll. But we're going to assume...
No.
We're going to assume that you do try to do this. You try to say no. Like, I'm totally staying away from that.
No, I was looking for a group to level up with, not join a guild or a cult. So...
This is exactly what you say to them, and they say, we don't care, dude. And they say, at this point, you have to do it. And they force you towards this dungeon. It looks like a random NPC's house, but there's a trap door, and they force you into it. And it looks like sort of a typical cave down there. And you hear some scary noises. There are lit torches, but you see shadowy figures. You see a couple dead bodies on the floor. Let's do a 1d20 loot check. Cool. Yeah, you find some loot on these bodies. You find a pretty dope sword, and then you find some tattered wizard robes, and then you find a yeah, that's pretty much it. Unless you want to, well, you can take some rope, and then if you can try to pick a torch off the wall if you want to. Do you want to take the rope or not?
No.
Okay. Do you want to take the sword and the tattered wizard robes?
Those robes seem pointless, but does that dope-ass sword seem as cool or cooler than my spear?
Oh, you think it's way cooler than your spear, but you do acknowledge, like, swords are not usually your thing, but you've used a sword in the past. It's not like you would have any trouble. Even though you like the defensiveness of your spear, you think this sword is definitely a higher quality.
Cool. Is this like a wide open area, or are we talking narrow hallways?
This is like narrow hallways.
Cool. I take the sword, but more as like a backup weapon.
Okay. So let's see. Tank doesn't want to go through this initiation rite, but the group doesn't care. The healer seems to be the leader. At this point, you have expressed interest. Our lives are on the line. We won't have you backing out. They coerce him into a nearby house, which has a trapdoor. He mutters unhappily under his breath and reluctantly enters. He finds some lit torches in the narrow cave-like dungeon. He hears noises. Can I have a 1d6 illustration check, please? He hears noises and spies a few dead bodies strung along the corridor. Okay, and we're going to illustrate.
5.
One body wears tattered wizard robes, and another has a sparkling and impressive sword. Draw this scene and describe what happens next. Eric says, why do we want to be part of a group that forces us to do stuff? That's a great question, chat.
Don't want to. Don't worry, I have a little notebook, and I have Healer's name written down in it, and skull icons next to it. They're on the hit list, they just don't know about it yet.
So I rolled a 1d20 mutiny check for this group. One of the people who is not the leader, after seeing this, reflects Eric's sentiment and considers revolting. But then after seeing what happened to Mike, they said, I'm going to go ahead and play along for now, and I'm not going to mutiny after all.
Do I like this version of me? Because I have way more armor than the last
version. Yeah, dude. Okay. In the dungeon, Tank moves cautiously, his senses heightened, wizard tattered robes. Suddenly, he hears a faint, raspy voice echoing through the dungeon. He pauses, listening intently. The voice grows louder, revealing itself as a chant in an ancient, unrecognizable language. Tank feels a chill run down his spine. Realizing it's part of the initiation, you steel your resolve, grip your spear, and advance slowly, keeping your shield ready. The quarter turns slightly, and he sees a faint light flickering ahead, possibly indicating the source of the voice. With every step, Tank prepares himself for what might come next in the mysterious dungeon. Okay, so you hear a foreign language. Mike, can I have a 1d20 foreign language check?
Based off everything I know about my guy, I don't know that language. Let's see.
You don't.
13.
You're correct. You have no clue what the hell they're saying. Can I have a 1d20 real life event check? No. Okay.
We're looking at an 8.
Yep, nothing happened there either. Eric says, what does 1d20 mean? It means he rolls a die that has 20 sides. So 1d20 means rolling a die that has 20 sides. So if you ever play like Monopoly, that would be a d6, a 6-sided die. So die rolling is a pretty standard tool playing RPGs. What do the values represent? They represent likelihood of something happening. So for like a perception check, if you have a high number, you're going to have really good perception. Yeah, it's like a random number generator. That's exactly right. And on a 1d20, usually 20 is a critical success and 1 is a critical failure usually. Yep, there you go. All right, chat is learning how to D&D. We love to see it. Okay. We're going to roll the element board. Can I have a 1d6 element check? We'll go fire, earth, water. What's earth, wind? Oh, wind. Earth, wind, fire, water. Chat, give me another element. I'll do metal.
Gold.
Metal and lightning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dude, you're not chat. Quit trying to get gold. Quit trying to get free gold.
No, I meant, 5 elements. Earth,
all right, can I have a
fire, water?
Yeah, phosphorus,
gold.
Noble gas. I gotcha. Diamond, Eric says. Okay, let's do a 2d6. 2d6. And I guess I'll roll this. Sorry. This is me. I'm going to do a 2d6. If we hit critical either way, it's a diamond monster. Oh, we got no criticals. That would have been cool to have a diamond monster roll up. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So this is water. 4, 5. Water and metal. All right, great. So he grips his spear and advances slowly. The quarter turns slightly, and he sees a faint light flickering ahead, possibly indicating the source of the voice. With every step, Tank prepares himself. Okay, What happens next is utterly terrifying. The metal torches, a drip of water entering the cave. Floats, a drip of water entering the cave floats unnaturally, if I can spell, to the center of the corridor. The metal torches appear to melt under their own heat. The metal also unnaturally floats into the same area as the water. The drops of water and metal appear to take shape. Tank is confronted with a water and metal golem. Draw a picture of this scene. Oh, hold on, one other thing. The golem raises a golem or elemental. The golem raises a hand, creating or causing a wall of metal to shoot from the sides, floor, and roof of the cave, locking Tank into the vicinity. Draw a picture of this scene. Okie doke, Mike. So this monster has appeared and locked you into the area. What do you do?
Dude, I'm level 1. I'm pretty sure I die.
So you just stand there or what?
I mean, what do you mean by I'm locked into the area?
So it assembles itself in front of you. By the way, it looks fucking awesome. Check this out, right? This is exactly what it looks like. So it assembles itself in front of you, and then you're locked into the area because the cave where you came from, it causes like a metal wall to form. Metal shoots in out of the ceiling, floor, and sides, and it locks you into the area. Does that make sense? Like there's a metal wall where you came in from now.
Right, so what's the rest of the area look like?
It looks kind of like this picture. You can see how it's basically just like a narrow corridor. You do see a path behind it, but there are no sort of paths to the left or right. It's just like a straight corridor. There are some torches. Yeah, the water did drip in through the roof, so potentially, I don't know, you want to try and like knock up the tunnel, like that's an option.
No, best bet here is to try and roll past it.
All right, so you just immediately sprint past it, right?
Yeah.
Tank immediately attempts to sprint past the monster. The monster reaches out another hand, causing another wall of metal to shoot in from without the corridor. This time, cutting Tank in half. He dies. So this is when you got that critical 1 earlier. This is what you set yourself up for, unfortunately.
No, that sounds about right.
An hour or like later, Tank awakens. He appears to be on a pyre outside of a church. it is now nighttime. Well done, says the healer. Welcome to the group. Okay. So they killed you, but now you're like alive again, and apparently you passed the test, even though you didn't actually do anything they asked you to originally.
Check game log.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yep.
Me, or
Tank checks the system game log. He sees that the healer revived him after he was killed by the elemental golem. Let's see. He sees no other useful information. All right, Jess, over to you. Are you continuing towards the town?
Sorry, I had to unmute. All right, so I'm continuing.
Okay, so you arrive at town. What do you do? What do you do?
So I was definitely looking around for first of all, I'm trying to see if anybody notices me or anything like that, but I'm trying to locate a magic person, a healer of some sort, something like that. And then I think I just kind of naturally observe the groups, right?
Okay, so when you arrive in town, it's to the evening, so this is about 30 minutes before what just happened with Mike. So you arrive while he is actually, he's literally being forced into the house with the trapdoor. So do a 1d20, we'll see if you notice him getting forced in.
1d20. I got a 9.
So you do not see him being forced into this house, but it's actually occurring at the same time that you come into town. So it's sort of evening. It's not night yet, but you're still being stealthy. No one notices you. You do notice some scattered people here and there. You notice one person picking berries off of a bush. You notice a few houses. Most of them seem empty, but a couple of them don't. And then you see some standard sort of RPG buildings, an armor shop, an inn, a tavern. And you do hear a bunch of shouts coming from what you guess is sort of like the town center. So do you want to go investigate that, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I want to go investigate that.
Okay. So you come across these groups. There are 6 groups that you see. And you can spend some more time investigating other groups if you want. Let's do one more 120. Let's do 2d20. So one is another observation check, and one is a sense evil check.
3D.
Okay. So you do not uncover any new groups, but you do sense evil in one of the existing groups. You sense that the mercenaries, group 3, the mercenaries group, you sense that these people are aligned. Basically, they have bad intentions, you think. And it dawns on you that you wonder in a world like this, who is hiring mercenaries? Can I have a 1d20 alignment check on yourself?
Being right up, 11.
Okay, so you say, actually, I'm not necessarily against that, but I'm not for it either. So even though you realize that they're probably bad people, you're still open to working with them if you want. So again, there are these same 6 groups that are the same that Mike already knew about. These are the 6 sort of larger groups. And then there are some odd people kind of by themselves here and there. So do you have an interest in joining up with one of these groups, or do you want to, I think you said you're looking for a magic person. Do you want to look for literally like a one-off magic person, or maybe like a magic
like
group?
An alchemist or like an alchemist area, like a store where you buy potions and stuff like that. But maybe over by like the armor and stuff like that as well. But I don't know if I even have any loot, like any money or anything like that. I just kind of woke up in a forest, So I'm definitely wanting to join up, but I'm not quite sure with who, and I'm more interested in seeing if I can just see if there's any alchemists or magic people in the area, any people who are just down to tell me about where the heck I am, because all I know is like I'm supposed to make it to this like level 100, and I woke up in like a forest that got attacked. So.
Okay. Eidolon arrives in town. Eidolon enters stealthily, but does not notice the shield bearers. Eidolon does notice the tavern, inn, armored shop, and commotion near the square. Eidolon senses a moral negative energy on the part of the mercenaries, and temporarily wonders about who is paying these people. Okay, so you say that you're looking for an alchemist?
Yeah, or anybody who knows where this guy I just saw in the forest get attacked by squirrels is. Like, trying to look for anybody who will talk, basically. There's somebody picking berries, I think. I don't know if they're down to talk, if they have any information, but really a magic person, yes, is what I'm looking for.
Okay, let's do one search at a time. So are you searching for the person that you saw, or are you searching for like an alchemist or any sort of magic? There's a bunch of magic people that you see, by the way.
Okay, so I'm looking to see if there's anybody who will talk about, like, in this commotion of the town that I'm by, if there's anybody who knows who has seen this guy.
Okay.
So, like, I'm interested in joining the group, but I think that I'm trying to, like, form conversations with some of them, or, like, talk and, like, kind of establish myself with the groups. See if I can join up, and if anybody's seen this person.
Thanks for the likes, chat. How do you know each other? This is my family, so Mike and Jess are my brother and sister. Chat, what do you think? Jess is looking for anyone who will talk. Do we find someone? I think we do. So yeah, a bunch of people are willing to talk to you. You're super charismatic. Like, you see a bunch of like elves and rogues, so people who are similar to you, as well as people from different backgrounds. It seems like lots of people are open to talking to you. You can roll a 1d20 suspicious character check. Sajan in the chat says, yes, we find someone. So you also find some suspicious characters, but yeah, there's some suspicious characters too, but they don't really seem to know anything either, and you actually get along talking fine to them as well. So basically, the problem that you're running into is like there's a lot of people who came in from the forest after the event. So people are like, yeah, like you're actually getting too many leads. So you actually get people telling you to go talk to Arya and Arya's group. You get people telling you to check out the shield bearers. You do notice that like you can't find the shield bearers, but you also get people telling you to talk to basically all of these groups. Let's see.
So
hold on.
Okay.
You do notice that the elementalists, that for some reason that group has not had anyone come out of the forest, at least not that anyone has seen today. They've sort of been hanging out in the same place all day. But other than that,
is that group number 3?
The elementalists are group number 4.
Who was group number 3 again?
The mercenaries.
The mercenaries. Okay, sounds good. So I have an interest in both talking to the shield bearers and the elementalists, and so first I'm going to go up to the elementalists for sure and kind of try to make conversation with them and see if why their people haven't come back and if they're okay and if they might have seen my people. So I'm trying to talk to that group.
Okay, so you find the elementalists gathered in what sort of looks like a funky looking chapel, but it has no walls. But it does have pews, but it's like open to the air, and it does have a pointy roof. And it has like a sort of an upper area where you would think that maybe a priest would be giving a presentation or a talk from that podium.
Mm-hmm.
And so the elementalists are a group of 5 people, 3 mages and 2 scouts. The 2 scouts are sitting in like the back podium, eating some food. And then there are 3 hooded figures up on the stage itself. And you approach them, and the scouts are very happy to talk to you. They have bow just like you do. One of them is elven, one of them is not. You're actually not sure what race that is. It's definitely not a human, and it's definitely not an elf. So you're talking to these 2 scouts, and they're basically like, yeah, we're the elementalists. Like, what's up?
And I'm like, hey, I noticed none of your people have come back yet. And are y'all okay?
The first scout, who's an elf like you, says, I don't know what you're talking about. We've been here like all day. We've actually been here for 3 days. Because the mages are doing like a ritual. So we don't have people that haven't come back. We've just been hanging out here.
I'd be like, okay, so do you know anything about this giant magic forest? Because I just got attacked by this giant magic plant. And look, here's its tooth. And I show him my tooth. And tell them about the like poison tooth, like whole acid stuff. And kind of ask them if they know what this like monster is or the magic in the forest, like what powers that.
Okay, so Idolin asks the elven scout in the group, what are you asking? What powers the magic plant?
If he knows what monster this tooth came from.
Oh, Idolin asks the elven scout in the group, do you know, and here, I'll do a D20 observation check for the NPC. Yeah, so they know. So they know it comes from this like plant monster. They're like, yeah, I've seen a few of those in the forest myself.
So I would be like, okay, so are you aware of like what magic power that is? No, like hold on. Like, do you know what powered that magic?
They're like, I don't know, dude. It's an MMORPG. It's like an RPG game. Like, there's just monsters kind of in the wilderness sometimes. Does there need to be a special magic? They say, I mean, I guess whoever is like the boss on this floor is probably powering the floor in general.
So I'm like, hey, I need to get to this boss. How do I do that?
And they said, well, you're in luck. We're scouts. We're great at finding that stuff, but we have to wait until our like wizards are done with their ritual before they're going to let us go into the forest. And so this is not something that they say, but I'm just asking you, Jess, are you interested in joining this group?
Okay, no, I'm like, hey, guard over to the shield bearers.
Okay, Idolin asked
because people told me to go talk to them.
Okay, do you know what sort of monster this tooth comes from? The elven scout responds affirmatively. Idolin asks where the monster magic in the forest comes from. And the scout guesses that either the boss of the floor or something within the lake powers the local magic. Okay, and then after this, you want to go look for the shield bearers?
Yes.
Okay. Idolin takes additional time to look for the shield bearers. All right. 1d20 observation check, please.
All right. G. Oh, not F. Look.
Oh, are you just looking by yourself, or are you
Right.
asking? Sorry, are you looking by yourself, or are you asking this scout?
What do you mean?
So you're looking for the shield bearers. Are you talking to the scout like, "Hey, where are the shield bearers?" Or are you like walking around the town looking for them yourself?
No, it's there were people who were telling me in the town to go talk to them, and I thought they already pointed it out. So like I was going to the shield bearers. I thought I already knew where they were.
No, you didn't know where they were. You just knew that like this is one of the groups that had people come in from the forest.
So then I asked them like, "Hey, where are the shield bearers?"
Okay, you're asking this scout from the elementalists?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And that's when you roll a 5 and he's like, I don't know. So do you want to look yourself now?
Hold on 1 second. Sorry. What was that, John?
So the scout in the elementalist does not know where the shield bearers are.
And like, hey, I don't know. So I go back to the center, like where all that commotion was, and I remember there was like a person right there who had said, "Go check out these like shield bearers." And so I like scan and see if anyone's there. That person that I saw who was yelling about it.
Okay, let's do a 1d20 like information gathering and scouting check.
All right.
No. Okay. So you are unable to even get a real description of like what these shield bearers look like. All you know is that they're like people. So you don't. You don't really know how to even find them. You can just look for people with shields, but there's a lot of those.
So did I ask anybody like, hey, do y'all know this person? Have you seen this person who I saw in the forest? Or you're saying that's dumb? So I don't know. I go back.
No. I'm not saying anything's dumb. I'm saying that there's a lot of people that came in from the forest. Do you see what I mean? So you're getting multiple answers. Like, yeah, you should talk to them, and you should talk to them.
Yes.
There's like a lot of people. Like, yeah, I saw a guy come in from the forest. There's like a lot of people like that.
Okay. Well, they were like, hey, talk to the shield bearer. So I feel like I would just ask another person until somebody like told me where these people were.
That told you where these shield bearers are?
Yes, and I'm wondering if I can like sell this tooth or anything as well.
Okay, which do you want to do first?
I want to see if I can sell this tooth at the merchant. So I go to the merchant and then see if he'll take the tooth.
Okay, so the armorer would buy it off of you, and they also said that they could potentially like make something with it if you're interested in that as well.
I would be like, hey, what can you make? What does that mean?
With a poisonous monster tooth, probably like a dagger. Or potentially you could like grind it up into a potion or something, but the armor person is not the right person for that.
Well, I'm wondering, like, do I even have money on me?
No, you don't.
Okay, so I'm just trying to sell this tooth. That's all I'm trying to do.
Okay,
So
you can have a gold piece for it.
I'm like super like good with like negotiating, so I like try to get it for 2.
And they're like, no, but I'll give you the gold piece and I don't know, some leather gauntlets, like some gloves.
Heck yeah! So I take that.
Okay.
All right, and then I go join up with my elementalist people. I'm like, hey, I got these gloves. Now I'm ready.
Okay.
I was also wait. I was looking. How's my health right now?
It's like 13 out of 16.
Yeah, I think I was actually looking for like a potion or something like that, like a health thing. So I go back to the scouts, and I'm like, hey, I'm ready to join your group, but like I'm kind of wounded. Like, could y'all heal me?
They're like, dude, you're not wounded. You just need a nap. Like, you can take a nap over here. And they like point to a bedroll. They're like, you can take a nap over here. And they're like, don't steal our shit. We know how rogues do.
All right, so like I'm like joining up with their group and everything. I take a little nap, and then I wake up in the morning. Right, boom, done. My turn.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just like, hey, let's go on an adventure.
Okay. Sounds good. Island sells the poisonous monster tooth, receives leather gauntlets and a gold piece. Island returns to the elementalists and joins up with them, resting for the night. Okay, in the morning, what has Arya been up to? All right, cool. So it's the next morning. Both of y'all are rested. Mike, you are in like some sort of house that the shield bearers kind of like live in. It's pretty clear to you, Mike, that the healer dude is like the leader. And you do notice that the other two warriors. So let me double check. I think there's 2 warriors in the shield bearers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2 warriors and you are kind of getting along, and they're like, yeah, dude, like, he's kind of a jerk, but he's also, like, a good guy. And you haven't really talked to the mage. Cool.
Guys, I'll be right back.
See ya.
Hi.
That's cool. Can you close the door, honey? Jesse got an Elsa toy. Or sorry, Ellie got an Elsa toy, and she's super happy about it. Bye.
Nice.
She's yelling goo 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 about her Elsa toy, which I guess is a good thing. Okay, so yeah, it's the next morning. You've been like resting up in this like house where like this group is staying. And let me double check their goals. Goals focused on dungeon crawling and clearing monster infested areas for loot and experience. And so the healer says the healer walks up and addresses the 3 of you, the warriors, and says, "Are y'all training with each other in the town here today, or are you ready to go back into the forest?"
Yeah, assuming neither one of them immediately jumps up, I say, yeah, time to get out to the forest. Need to, get that experience.
Cool. Yeah, the warriors, one of them is like, I'd rather stay in town, and one of them is like, I'm sick of training here in the town. I want to get out there, and it gets sort of aggressive. I want to get out there and find this monster and kill him. And I'm sick of being cooped up in this town, and I'm sick of being like afraid. And so then you say the forest?
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of break the tie, and the healer seems content enough. He just looks over at the mage and nods. And then the mage gathers a book and what looks like a few items. You can't quite tell what they are. And they're like, all right, let's go. And so your group starts walking out of town into the forest. So Jess is not here right now? Okay.
Yeah, it looks like she jumped out for a second.
That's okay. So let's see what happens to Arya. So your group is heading towards the town. Arya has been actively involved in rallying and organizing her warband to confront the first floor boss. Her actions are summarized in a few key steps. Chat, let me know if anything happens in your opinion as well. Arya spent the night meeting with various adventurers and mercenaries, assessing their skills and suitability. All right, so she recruited. She gathered resources and equipment. Cool. Scouting and intelligence gathering. Okay. So let's see. So Arya has some scouting knowledge now. Does she find the boss yet? Arya's team is able to eliminate the boss. Arya's team hasn't yet found the boss, but they are able to rule out one wild location. Which location is...
So worried that dog socks for some reason. Still on you?
What?
It's still on your turn?
My turn. Who am I?
I'm saying I just jumped in. Where are we at? I'm saying whose turn is it?
It's Arya's turn right now.
Okay, awesome.
Mike, that place where you were sheltering originally, do you remember what it was called? Okay. So the Lake of Whispers...
Just the Hidden Grove.
The Lake of Whispers, the Ruins of Eldarion, the Whispering Glade, and the Crossroads. Arya's team hasn't yet found the boss, but they are able to rule out one wild location. Which location is ruled out? The Lake of Whispers, the Ruins of Eldarion, the Whispering Glade, the Crossroads of the Elements. Okay, cool. Mike, yeah, let's do a 3d20 perception check for you and your whole team, Mike.
All right, let's see here. Totals up to 39, but it's a 19, a 13, and a 7.
Yep. Yeah, so you do hear about this news that Arya's team has basically cleared the Lake of Whispers, and so that the first floor boss is not in the Lake of Whispers. So probably the first floor boss is going to be in the Ruins of Eldarion or in the Whispering Glade. You're not sure which. Let's do a 1d20 aggressiveness check for the healer, for the guild lead.
Okay.
So they are not being aggressive, and so when they hear the news that the boss is not in the Lake of Whispers, they're like, perfect. Now that the Lake of Whispers is cleared, that's like the perfect place for us to go train, basically. So let's get out of this.
Definitely agree with them.
Okay, cool. Do you want to make a comment to him about that?
Nope. Just a comment of, I guess, full-on agreement.
Like, do you make that comment out loud? Or is this like a thought to yourself?
No, it's out loud. Yeah, good thinking. Sounds like a perfect place to level up.
Okay, great. The healer is the leader of the shield bearers. What is his name? What is his... Oh, okay. The healer... So Tank has joined the shield bearers. Tank has joined the shield bearers. Their healer is their leader. The group hears that Arya's team has cleared the Lake of Whispers. So the healer leader decides that this will be a perfect training ground for the team. As the group walks, Tank learns a bit more about the group, including their names. The mage remains the most mysterious. Describe these characters in more detail and give their stat sheets. All right, so Mike, you get to the edge of the lake. You're at you're walking along like a sidewalk, a pretty clearly beaten path that goes up to the lake, and it's been grassy. So you exit the town, you walk along this path, and you can see the water, and you can see sort of some people and some monsters here and there. It's a pretty open area. It's a pretty sunny day. The wind is not too bad. And the mage points at the edge of the water to a large lizard-like monster, and says, "That one." And you see the other two like warriors start walking over there, and the healer a bit further behind. So, are you going to go with them?
Yeah, we're here to kill some monsters.
Okay, can I have a one? Let's see. Yeah, let's do a 3d20, a 3d20 sort of like quick training check.
All right. Cumulative 28.
Okay, yeah, so it only gave the stat sheet for one. Am I missing it? Healer, warrior, rogue. No, there's not a rogue. Oh, it got confused. They're supposed to have two warriors. Two warriors, okay. All right, cool. We had a first significant hallucination, I would say. It forgot what the group composition was. Okay, remember the group is composed of two warriors, a healer, and a mage. and this is actually on me. You don't know the healer's stat sheet either. The mage remains the most mysterious. Describe these characters in more detail. Give the stat sheets for the warriors and only backstory for the other two. Okay, so you don't know the actual stats of the healer or the mage, but you're getting to understand the warriors in like a higher level of detail. So you're on your way to go fight this lizard. Basically, one of the warriors is like, "Hey, they call us the shield bearers. Let's show you why. Before we fight this thing, we need to make sure that you can help us with our signature move." So the idea for this group is that the people with a shield, including yourself, we should be up front, and then the healer and the mage should be behind us. And we should be able to do this phalanx formation, and that's really going to help us basically guard off monsters. And then you should see this mage, dude. Like, he pretty much just takes care of them as long as we can keep the mage protected. So they try to show you this phalanx formation move, and let's do a 1d20 training success check. All right.
12.
So you don't quite get it, but they're like, yeah, that was a good start. We'll try this again later. So you don't quite get it, but they're not necessarily. They seem pleased with like your progress, even though you don't quite get it yet. All right, cool. The shield bearers walk along this well-made path. That one says the mage. The other warriors train briefly with Tank, trying to show him their phalanx formation, which is the signature move of the warriors in this group. Tank doesn't quite get it in this brief period of a few minutes. But the other warriors still seem pleased with his progress. Good enough for now, says Kale. With that, the group, he signals for the group to attack the lizard monster. The lizard seems to notice the oncoming group. What does it do? Draw this scene. Boom. All right, so I'll do initiative for the lizard, and you can do your whole group, Mike. Can you do like a 4d20 initiative for your 4 different people?
Aren't there 5 people?
Yeah, but it seems like the mage is not following the group. There's the 3 warriors, and then the healer is coming behind y'all.
Oh, yeah. Alright, got 14, 3, 16, and then 10 for the healer.
Okay. Can you do a 1d6 tiebreaker on the 14?
Looking at a 3 there.
Okay, so you're going to lose the tiebreaker. So the lizard is going to be able to... So the first one is KO... Oh, hold on. 16 is faster. So that would be you. That would be you. So Kale, and then Lyra, and then you, and then the healer. So Lyra actually, even though Kale signals, Lyra actually gets there first and makes a move before the lizard does. Bam, and here's a picture. Lyra moves first, then the lizard monster, then Kale. What happens? Kale aims to exploit the opening left by the monster's defensive move. He lunges forward, aiming for a decisive blow that could potentially disable or seriously injure the creature. All right, so I will do a 1d20 to see the outcome of this attack. You say that Kale is aiming. He, in fact, rolls 15 on a 1d20 attack roll. How much? Like, give the stat sheet for this monster and describe the damage points. Okay, and Mike, and what do you do? Or do you want to? You can wait for it to print out if you want to.
Did it say what the monster itself did?
Yeah, the monster itself reacts with surprising speed, countering Lyra's attack with a swift sidestep, avoiding the blade. Then it unleashes a defensive maneuver, spews a stream of water, sourced from its own abilities or the nearby lake. You can't tell. Attempting to create distance between itself and Lyra and possibly disrupt the group's formation.
Cool. Making sure, I attack the lizard, making sure to pay attention to positioning and keeping myself between the lizard and the healer.
Okay, so it's like a defensive strike. Tank launches a defensive strike, trying to harm the lizard, but giving priority to the defense of the healer behind him. Is that fair?
Yeah.
The defense. Okay, cool. Can I have a 1d20, please?
And that's
He rolls
13.
13 on a 1d20. Apply a... Okay. I'll do a +1 bonus because... let's do a +2 bonus because he's on disadvantage because he's engaged in combat. So it's almost like a surprise strike. He rolls 15 on a 1d20. Given the tank's roll and focus on a defensive strike, his action would prioritize protection while attempting to deal damage. Successful hit.
Noise.
Okay, so we'll say the monster is at 35 health now. I guess GPT forgot that you're using a spear, but understandably, because like given what all happened, it's not even clear that you're still holding the spear. But we're going to say that you are still holding the spear, by the way. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
So a new round occurs. Let me do a roll to see if another monster joins the fray. Okay. We see another monster in the distance begin to pay attention, but they do not yet approach. It is Lyra. It is Lyra's turn. Then the lizard. Then Kale. What happens next? Okay, so the lizard had 35. Assume she deals 14, so it attacks 6 to 8. So let's call it 8, so that makes it 27. 4 to 6 points is the lizard attacking Lyra. Okay. Okay, so Lyra takes 6 points of damage, and then he... okay, so the lizard now has 19 points of health, and Lyra took 6 points of damage. All right, Mike, you're up.
I think I'm gonna like pop off soon.
All right, we can wrap up after this round. Do you want to do? Are you hopping off now, or do you want to do one more turn before you go?
Whose turn is it on right now? My turn now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my thing's the same, where combat is, for fighters, kind of routine. Continue to prioritize the defense of the healer while taking what opportunities I can to attack the lizard.
Okie doke. 1d20 defensive strike. By the way, Jess, I don't know if it helps you make the decision, but whenever this fight is over, it's going to be the end of his turn.
Okay, word.
All right, so you got to do a 2d20, so you didn't hurt it. You didn't hurt it at all. You can do another 1d20 to see if you succeed on being defensive, though. Okay.
15.
Tank fails to inflict any damage this round, but he succeeds in protecting the healer. The healer waves toward Lyra. She seems not only fully healed, but also strengthened and quickened. It is now Lyra's turn to attack. What happens? Draw the scene. Boop. Could not parse my authentication token. What? What are you talking about, Willis? I wonder if ChatGPT reset the server, because I got an error earlier. I don't know if you noticed that. Okay, I'll try this one more time and then I'll refresh the screen. All right. Hopefully I didn't lose all my pictures, but I still copied them to Discord anyway. Okay, we still got the pictures. That's cool. Whoa, what all happened? We see yet another monster in the distance. Begin to pay attention. Okay, this is fine. We can basically... So it was down to 19 health.
Yeah, and Leal took 6, I believe.
Yeah, the lizard is down to 19 health. Lyra took... It's Lyra, right? Lyra took 6 points of damage. Tank fails to do any damage this round, but succeeds in protecting the healer. The healer waves toward Lyra. She seems not only fully healed, but also strengthened and invigorated. It is now Lyra's turn. What happens? Draw the scene. I think I captured that correctly. Chat, remember this is collaborative, so if you want to throw a wrench in it, go for it. But I think y'all are on a good track. Unless something wonky happens. Oh, look at this. The image generation is a new picture. Yeah, I think they just deployed. I think they just deployed something while we were playing. Oh, this looks cool.
Oh, that lizard looks funky now.
It's not too different. I mean, it just looks like it stood up. The head is a little bit different, but it's the same idea, right?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Lyra, now bolstered, takes confidence. She raises her sword, channeling her renewed strength and determination into a powerful strike. The outcome seems pivotal. All right, I'm going to do a 3d20. I mean, actually, I shouldn't even have to tell you what the roll is, but we're going to see if this kind of nukes it. It doesn't nuke it, but it does a bunch of damage. Okay. The lizard takes 16 points of damage. What does the lizard do? Oh, let's do a 1d6 to see if the other monster hangs out. No, the other monster still does not join. The lizard takes 16 points of damage. The onlooking monster decides to leave the group alone. This thing is just called the lizard monster, right? Lizard takes 16 points of damage. The other onlooking monster decides to leave the group alone. What does the lizard do on its turn? Okay, cool. The mage ends the mage waves, and a crack of lightning finishes off the monster. Mike, so your team wins. Let's do a 3d6 loot check.
Let's see here. 314, totaling 8 out of possible 18.
Cool. So you can grab an item. Potential items here. You could grab its heart, a claw, a tooth, or a couple scales. Any of those strike your interest?
You know, we're going to leave it up to the mage and the healer. I don't know if any of those are worth value on this thing.
Okay. All right, cool. And that ends your turn. Jess, do you want to do one more, or are we done?
Hey, Jess.
Is she on mute?
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Can hear you now.
I don't know why. I don't know why that happened. I wasn't muted on my end. But anyway, hey, I was saying I'm cool calling it if y'all are.
All right, cool. Sounds good. All right, y'all.
Yeah, let's see if you can save this in a text file or something.
Yeah, I can. I'll send you the link. I cannot save the pictures though, so I put those in Discord. But we can pretty much pick this up whenever we want.
Love it.
All right, love y'all.
Love
See you later.
I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye guys.